For millions of families, a diagnosis is just the start of a lifelong process of finding support. Shockingly, over 90% of children with disabilities and most of their parents feel socially isolated. This isn't a personal failing. It is a clear symptom of a broken and fragmented system. Families are drained by the emotional labor of constantly fighting for basic needs. We'll reveal why this system is so scattered, expose its hidden costs, and present a better way forward. The core problem? Information is spread across countless sites and agencies with no single starting point. Without a central guide, parents are forced into the exhausting dual roles of care coordinator and advocate. Because information is so difficult to locate, many families are unaware of resources they're entitled to. This broken system leaves caregivers managing complex data with inefficient paper binders and spreadsheets. And for many, this maze is even harder to manage due to a digital divide that puts online information out of reach. So we see the information as a mess, but how does this chaos cause real failures in healthcare and education? This fragmentation creates dangerous gaps in care. But what are the hidden costs of these gaps beyond medical bills? In a fractured healthcare system, specialists don't talk to each other, leading to poor communication and unmet needs. This breakdown starts early. Only a quarter of young children get formal developmental testing, so vital intervention windows are missed. The gaps persist in schools where a lack of funding and specialized staff denies students an appropriate education. Finding other key professionals, like special needs attorneys or financial planners, is another major hurdle for families. These systemic failures create a cascade of real-world consequences. Let's look at the actual burdens families face. Those hidden costs, they start with a disability tax of up to $3,000 per year for non-covered items. Parents also face massive barriers finding suitable childcare, forcing many to leave the workforce entirely. This pressure leads to a profound human cost. Up to half of individuals with disabilities report chronic loneliness. This brings us back to that staggering 90% statistic. The isolation is a crisis fueled by a broken system. The challenges are clear, but managing this system has traps that snare even the most well-intentioned families. Here's a counterintuitive problem. A cash gift from a grandparent can jeopardize eligibility for benefits like SSI. Avoiding these traps requires expert legal and financial guidance. But those specialists are the hardest to find. There's an emotional aspect too. Some parents may resist special education services due to fear of stigma or distrust. All these issues point to the need for a long-term life plan to manage transitions from childhood to adulthood. We've seen fragmented information, systemic gaps, hidden costs, and complex traps. How do all these pieces connect? The maze of information we first discussed is the direct cause of the systemic gaps in healthcare and education. These gaps, in turn, create the crushing hidden costs. The system's failure becomes the family's financial burden. And that cumulative load, the searching, the fighting, the paying, is what leads directly to the crisis of isolation. All these problems stem from a single root failure: the lack of a unified, centralized, and accessible platform. This is the precise need that Helpipedia was built to address for families nationwide. It consolidates everything into one trusted place, ending the endless search for verified doctors, therapists, and advocates. It offers state-by-state resource guides and life stage playbooks to guide you through every transition. The process doesn't have to be a maze. It's time to replace fragmentation with connection. Visit helpipedia.org today